Hey guys, welcome to my channel again. My name is Vance. So in today's tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to make this beautiful baby gown. So for this tutorial, these are the tools I'll be making use of. I use 2 yards of the pink and 1 yard of the fuchsia pink. I'm going ahead to fold my fabric like this, the back and front together. I'm going ahead to rule out my starting line. From that starting line, I'll be taking the baby shoulder, which is 10 divided by 2, give me 5. I marked it. I came down for the shoulder slope by ½ inch. So after which, guys, I'll go ahead and get the armhole of the baby. I divided the armhole by 6 plus 1.5. After I'm done with this, guys, I'll go ahead and use my ruler to straighten the lines out. So when I'm done tracing the lines, guys, on that line, that's the baby's chest line, I'll be repeating the shoulder measurement there, and I'll connect it to the ½ inch shoulder slope I marked initially. So from there, guys, I'll be taking the half length of the baby. The half length of the baby is 10 inches, so I marked it there. And then for the full length, I'll be exhausting the whole length of the fabric. So this was it. The whole length I will be using will be 25.5. So when I'm done, guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to also straighten out the line so that it will be more obvious. When I'm done with this part, guys, I'm going to go ahead and take the baby's neck width, which is 3. I'll be using 3 for the neck width of this gown. And for the neck depth, I'll be using 1 inch for the back. And then for the front depth, I'll be using 3 inches. So I'll go ahead and give it a curve, just the way you see me doing. So I'm going to connect the shoulder slope. From that point, I'll connect it to the neck width line. So when I'm done, guys, next thing I'm going to do is to divide the baby's armhole. So for my baby's armhole, I divided like this. I came in by ½ inch. From that ½ inch, guys, I'll connect to the ½ inch shoulder slope I went in before, came down by before, sorry. I'll get the baby's bust, and then I'll connect it to that ½ inch I came in by to get my armhole. When I'm done, guys, next thing I'm going to do at the chest line is to add the allowance. For the allowance, I make use of 1.5 inches for the allowance. So from that 1.5 inch, I'll connect it to the full length of the gown. So I'll use my ruler to connect that 1.5 inch to the full length of the gown, just the way you see me doing. When I'm done connecting it, guys, you can see it's an A-line gown. So the A-line is already showing perfectly. So for my full length, the whole width I used was 10.5. So you decide how many widths that you want to use for yours. But for this one, I used 10.5 for the width. I'm so sorry about the noise. The house is so full and the rest. So basically, when I was done with this, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take my zip allowance. So guys, for my zip allowance for this dress, I'll be making use of 1 inch for the zip allowance. So I'm going to go ahead now and rule out or mark out the zip allowance, just the way you see me doing. So when I'm done with this, I'll go ahead and cut out our piece. So this was me cutting out the piece. First of all, I'm going to cut out the back first before I go ahead to cut out the front. Done cutting the back, I'll go ahead and cut the front. So I lifted the front up just like this, and then I cut the armhole first. So this is the armhole part. I'm cutting it out. So guys, when I'm done cutting the armhole, I'll go ahead and then from the armhole, that's from the shoulder line, that's from there, I'll come in by 0.75 or ½ inch. You can go in by ½ inch, but I went in by ½ inch. So at that point, I marked my ½ inch and then I connected it from my armhole, just the way you see me doing. This is because I do not want the shoulder line to be poked out. I don't know if you understand. I just wanted the shoulder line to relax. That was why I went in by that 1/2 inch. So I went ahead to cut it out. And then after I was done with that part, the next thing I'm going to do is from the full length of our gown, I will go up by 1.5 or 1 inch. I went up by 1 inch. You can go up by 1.5. I gave it a curve like this. So I do not want the dress to be straight. I wanted it to give it a curve. That's why I came up. So I came up by 1 inch, and then I'll go ahead and cut out. So when I'm done, I'll now go ahead and cut out my neck width and my neck depth. So the front neck depth is what I'm cutting out right now. So this is the front neck depth. So this is it, guys. So the next thing I'm going to do after I was done with the cutting and everything, I went ahead to indicate the back and the front using my chalk. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do right now is to set this aside. So to get the ruffle part of the down side of our gown, I'll be using pleat method. In the thumbnail, they actually used a cone method that's in form of a flay. But for me, I'll be using a pleat. So I'm going to cut this in multiple layers because my fabric is not going to be enough to get all those circle pleat cone shape because of the availability of my fabric. I don't know if you understand. So I'm going to be using pleat method for this style. So I had to cut a lot of pleats. I'll be joining them, so it's going to be long. So this was me cutting out as many as possible. For the width of the pleat, I used 4.5. While for the length, I used as many. You can use as much as you want, depending on how much fabric you have left. So I had to do a lot of joining, as I said earlier, just to make sure that my fabric is long enough to accommodate the down part of the gown. So when I was done cutting my fabric, that's the part I was going to pleat out, I went ahead to fold my fabric again into two to cut the facing. So I am cutting the front facing first before the back. So this was me arranging my fabric properly so that I can be able to cut out the front facing. So when I was done arranging, guys, I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I made my facing to be long so I can be able to use it to cover my armhole. So I'll set this aside and cut the back facing. So for the back facing, I had to open up my fabric so that I'll be able to cut the facing one by one. So I placed my back block on the main fabric, and then I'll go ahead and cut out. So this one I cut out now, I'll use it and place it again on the fabric. I'm really trying to manage this fabric. So I went ahead to cut out the other side of our facing. So when I'm done cutting, we'll go ahead and cut out the bow part of this dress. So this was it when I was done. As you can see, at this point, guys, I'll go ahead and cut my bow. So I'm folding my fabric into two. I folded it. For the length of the fabric bow, I'll be using 8, while for the width I'll be using 9.5 for the width of the fabric. So I'll go ahead and cut out just the way you see me doing, like this. And then hula, this is our bowl. So this is how I want it to be. So you see it's already forming a cute bowl. So guys, I'll go ahead and cut the parts that I will use to hold the bowl together. I didn't actually measure what I'll be using. I just randomly cut it out just like this. So this is what I'll be using for to knot the bow. So this is it. I'll go ahead and fold it like this after I'm done sewing down, and then I'll hold it up like this, and then I'm going to use it to cover our bow. This is so cute already. So this is it, guys. So I'll go ahead and cut the other fabric that I'll be using under the bow. I didn't actually I just used my eyes to know how long I wanted the fabric to be. So this was me cutting out and making sure that both ends are equal. So this is it. When I'm done cutting it out, I'll go ahead and then I'll fold it again, and I'll go and sew it down, and then I'll show you how it looks like when I'm done. So guys, basically these are all the fabric I have cut out for our project. So guys, I'll open up my front block like this, and then I'll place the facing, that's the front facing, on it like this. After I was done, I'll place the facing on it like this, and I'll go and sew the neck and then the armhole, and then I'll show you what it looks like. I'll do the same thing for the back. I'll open the back up like this. I'll place the back facing on them just the way you see me doing. I'll first go and sew down the neck part. I'll sew the neck part and the armhole part, and I'll show you how it's done, or when I'm done. So this was it when I was done. I'm also gonna head to iron them out. As you can see, it looks all clean and neat. So guys, I've done the same thing for the back. The next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and join my shoulder to shoulder. So what I did first was to turn my front block to the wrong side, and then I went ahead to turn the back side to the front. I don't know if you get, I only turned the front part to the wrong side, while for the back I didn't turn it to the wrong side. So I went in and I placed my shoulder inside of the front. When I turned it, I'll go ahead and pin down. I'll do the same thing for the other part, guys. So you can see the other part. So my back block is still at the right side. It's only my front part that is on the wrong side. So I had to put it inside like this. As you can see, I had to arrange it so that both sides of the shoulder is going to match, just the way you see me doing. And then I'll go ahead and pin down, and then I'll go and sew it down by 1/2 inch. When I'm done sewing, I'll show you how it looks like. So this was when I was done sewing, guys. I've also gone ahead to iron. As you can see, I'll go ahead and fix my zip, and then I will go ahead and shape the sides. I will use 1 inch to shape the side of this dress. So when I'm done shaping and adding my zip, I'll show you how it looks like. So this was when I was done shaping the dress. I've also ironed. See the back side. I fixed my zip too. It's looking all good. As you can see, everything is looking clean. The armhole is covered. So this is the part that I'll be doing my pleating. So this is my pleating rope. I have joined all the pieces together. I'll go ahead and hem the under part of my gown, and then I'll go ahead and pleat it down. So this is how I'll be pleating. This is a kissing pleat or a box pleat. I don't know what you call it, but this is actually a pleat. So I'll go ahead and pleat all of it like this. So for the bow, I'll go ahead and sew it down by 1/2 inch, and then I'll show you how it looks like when I'm done sewing. So this was when I was done with the pleats. It's still looking, it's looking so fine. It's not still, it's really looking fine and good. So I want to add a little bit of design on it. I do not want it to look plain at that point. So I went ahead to use this cluster stone or a stone to give it a form of design that will blend with the bow, the fuchsia pink bow at the shoulder part. So guys, this was the bow when I was done sewing. I'll go ahead and make my fabric like my bow shape, and then I'll put the smaller rope to tie the bow together. So this was me trying to form a perfect bow for my gown. So this was it, and the pink one is going to go beneath it just like this. I'll go ahead and trim out the excesses that's remaining there. So this is it, how I'm going to place it. I'll trim out the excess, I'll make it all neat, and then I'll show you how it looks like when I'm done. So guys, this is our baby gown. It's looking all fine. I love it. I love the fit. When my clients came to pick it, it was so nice on her daughter. Thank you guys for watching my video to the end. Please do well to subscribe to my channel, like my video, leave a comment in the comment section if you have any questions for me, and I'm going to see you in my next tutorial. Bye guys.